It's been a hot second since we've talked about a poisonous plant, so let's talk about the Daphne mezereum plant. So this is the Daphne mezereum. It's a type of flowering plant that's native to a bunch of areas in Europe and Asia, and it is pretty toxic. Most of the parts of the plant will cause symptoms. The toxicity is due to two different compounds called daphnin and mezerin, which they get the names from the name of the plant. Most of the parts of the plant are toxic, including the sap, which if you get it on your skin, it will cause pretty bad skin irritation, like a burning and itching sensation. However, most of the symptoms of the poisoning comes from ingestion of the berries, largely by children. So when the berries are ingested, it starts with kind of a choking sensation. It feels like your airways are closing up and you have trouble breathing. Also have troubles like swallowing and speaking, and that leads to the more gastrointestinal issues, so abdominal cramps and pain, as well as nausea and vomiting in some cases. And then in more severe cases, it can lead to things like bloody diarrhea, and in mostly younger kids who ingest it, it can lead to some kind of neuromuscular issues, so there's like muscle twitches, like the uncontrolled movement of muscles. There's also mental conditions such as slowness and sluggishness and kind of confusion, and it's been recorded that as few as 12 berries in adults can be fatal, much less for children and the elderly, but it also does vary depending on the individual, but for a regular, healthy adult, about 12 berries is considered to be the lethal dose. The Daphne plant is used as an ornamental plant in lots of places because of the very pretty flowers, but again, even just touching the sap can cause skin irritation, and if you have pets or small children, they are likely to eat the berries, which can be fatal to them. So if it's not if you don't want it there and you don't have kids, then removing it is kind of difficult because, again, the sap can be toxic, and if you try to cut it down and burn it to get rid of it, it can release an irritating gas that can hurt your lungs. So the plant is kind of a pain to get rid of. Even though it is pretty, it can be invasive in some areas, and it can be bad if you have kids or pets. I could not specifically find anything about treatment for Daphne poisoning. I would assume, unless there's an antidote that I just couldn't find, that supportive therapies are kind of the way to go. Make sure you stay hydrated, make sure the organs keep functioning, all that jazz. Yes, here's another very interesting plant. It's a good rule of thumb: if you don't know 100% that it's safe, don't eat it.